Shalom, shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who well whom I learned from. Peace and salutation to the elect. This is Brother Barak coming at you with another lesson that I pray that I find and exhorting this morning. Okay. And as I was just coming out to the vehicle, heading down to work, it hit me, don't just go through it, grow through it, and because we human beings, and a lot of things may come to our mind, and we know what we need to do, or it may appear unto us, but we have to be able to apply it, and that's ultimately how you grow through it, man. You grow through it by application, learning and understanding the different things that would go through the various trials and tribulations, man. Don't just be going through these things and then, because everything has a season, things come and go. So, but, if we don't learn and pay attention to the details as we're in a certain situation, yeah, that situation may subside, but guess what? Another situation is going to come about. So, did you learn anything from the last situation? Did you grow? Are you able to, assist yourself in the next situation that you're going to be in? And the only way to do that is by growing through the situation, the trials and tribulations that we go through, man. Okay, that goes into paying attention to detail, inner dialogue. I've been using that word a lot lately. It's actually two words, but inner dialogue. Going into being aware of your thoughts. And pretty much, what somebody would call talking to yourself. But it's, it's pretty much you communicating with your thoughts. You understanding where you at. You understanding what you're thinking about, what you need to do, and getting these things done ultimately. On one of my, on a few videos ago, I quoted something. I actually put it on the thumbnail, but it says, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. You see, so since like a parable or a saying, but that's exactly what it is. So during that smooth sea, that sailor that was in it, not smooth sea, but during that rough sea, because it says a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. So the skilled sailor, during those rough seas he went through, he actually was learning different things. He was growing through the tribulation. And that was a beautiful analogy because, sea is like, it's not just like, okay, you're in the middle of the water and the waves just roaring. No, it's like a storm. A storm while you out there in the middle of the water. Because remember, even when Yahawashi was walking on the water, and he bid the Apostle Peter to come walking to him. Apostle Peter was walking on the water, but then he said what? A boisterous wind came, right? And those winds is a representation of, trials and tribulations. So once the wind started to come, the Apostle Peter began to sink, and the Lord told him, he said, well, first let me say this, he reached forth his hand, he said, Lord, save me. And the scriptures tell you immediately Yahawashi reached his hand out to Peter and saved him, right? But Yahawashi asked him, he said, why did thou doubt, O ye of little faith? So that's the thing too, when we're going through these situations, don't doubt. That's another way of growing through it. Understanding that there is a way out. We just got to figure it out. Find a way out. It could be, more application. Hey, sometimes the Lord does require you to be still and be patient, and he gonna get you out of the situation no matter what. But it's still something within that situation. Yeah, it may be a timetable on it where the Lord like, yeah, I'm gonna hit him with this for a month, but within that month, the Lord expects us to grow, and that comes with, intention. We got to be, intentional. What's another word? But pretty much, that's why the scriptures speak about being sober-minded. You want to be alert. You want to be alert, knowing what you're doing. Self-awareness is another good one. Okay. And a lot of times we can also see like the bigger picture. Like you may be able to see the bigger picture, but we'll be missing the detail. And it's some things that has to be broken down into the small points in order to be able to understand it, you know, and be able to, hey, that's just like the truth. In order to grow, you know, like it's certain words that you have to go back to the Greek, you know, to understand the context. So you got to break it down in simplest form. Some words we go back to the Hebrew, you know, being a dominant language, but you know, of course, in the Old Testament, you know, some things like the Apostle Tahar always said, you got to go to the maps. You got to know the history in order to understand the mystery. So that's called attention to detail. That's called really getting into it in order to fully understand. So that's how we grow through it, you know. And that's why a lot of these guys, like the apostles always say, you know, come into this truth, but they missing that attention to detail. They're not into the history. They're not into the maps. They're not into words, into the Hebrew. Okay, and they miss the big picture and they end up falling out. Why? Because their faith was never developed. You know, they didn't grow. You know, that work, you know, digging up the fallow ground and planting the seed and watering it. You know, it may seem mundane and insignificant, hey, but when it's time to reap, hey, when it's time to reap, it's time to reap. You know, I was watching the elders from Atlanta last night. You know, they was going into that, you know, waiting on the reward of the Lord. And one of the precepts that they brought out is, he that sows sparingly will reap sparingly. You know? So if you're not really growing through these situations, you know, hey man, that's you not sowing. You know, you missing the detail. You don't want to do the small things. And the guy that does the small things pretty much knows everything in and out. You see, that's just like when you be at these different jobs. You know, you might got the big man come in, hey, and this motherfucker might not know what nothing that. Why? Because he's not here, he's not involved. He's just sitting up at top, which everybody has their position. But you know, the point is, you know, doing the small thing. That's why the Lord got us down here really getting it from the ground up. You know, the Lord's making us rulers. We're gonna be some beautiful rulers. Lord willing, we part of that number. But no matter what, the elect gonna be some beautiful rulers. Why? Because they got it from the ground up. You know, really building. Okay. So yeah, the point of this lesson, man, pretty much, brothers, just want to exhort you. You know, don't just be going through certain situations. Grow through them, man. Attention to detail. Sit down, meditate. You know, write some shit down. There's no way that we should be falling into the same traps over and over. Because if you do, that means what? You missed something from the previous time. So now we got to go back, until we get it right. Until, you know, to the perfecting of the saints. Which we're not going to be perfect on this side. So you do give yourself some grace. But at the same time, you know, apply, you know, always strive to be great. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and close this lesson out. I pray you've been edified and exhorted. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.